Hey, La Rock, percent off collector. We're here with another action figure unboxing and review. And we are once again going back to the collaborative series from Transformers. And this time we're going to be looking at the I guess it's Ectotron. So Ecto 1. Transformer crossover, of course, with Ghostbusters. And this was one that I was waiting to get my hands on when they had a nice discount. If you saw the review that we had on kind of like the Party Wagon from TMNT, Jurassic Park, I really like these, and I especially like the ones that come in this retro packaging, like the one from Back to the Future. That was cool that came in this retro G1 style packaging, and you can see it has like Slimer and all that. So we're gonna open this up in just a bit. But as I said, I like the design of the box. Even though I don't keep boxes anymore, I still appreciate the stuff they put into it. Tells you up here how it transforms and everything. That's pretty cool. On the side, you have the display model, and then also, of course, in the back, you have the tech specs. You have the G1 artwork, pretty much the same one that I've seen on. I think it was the last. I know it was definitely on the Michael Knight, the Knight Rider kit car, and I think it was also on the Gigawatt figure as well. But you can see that there. So let's get this bad boy open, because that's what we do here. We open these bad boys up. Alright, so let me lower this down a little bit. Alright, so I mean, automatically, it just looks cool. And one thing I will say, just from my experience with these, is that the car mode always, to me, looks better. Pretty much all the ones that I've collected, I enjoy that more than the robot mode. It's not like the robot mode is horrible or anything, but I don't know, I guess since the vehicle is really kind of what the collaborative came from, that's what's on my mind. And then I guess they're putting so much into making sure, of course, you get that main part correct, that when it comes to the robot, it's like, because you're not really expecting a robot to look a certain way, because, I mean, it wasn't a robot originally. So, oops, I was like, that thing just visually faked me out. I was like, I just whiffed that one. That's kind of weird, that one piece that just sits there like that. So let's get these out of here. I used to just push them away, but I noticed that my cat starts to want to eat the plastic, which is not good. Don't let your cat eat those plastic pieces. So of course we have the instructions here, which I learned from the kit car that's like I should at least breeze through, because even though I'm gonna look online how to transform this on YouTube, you know, like at first I had forgotten, because it'd been a while since I got this, that you actually put batteries, watch batteries, which I didn't have, into it to get sound. So this one I just take a brief look. I do like that it also has the green look to it, so that's pretty sweet. So I mean, yeah, I mean the car itself is looking cool, and I'm gonna also put out some of the other from my collection, just so you can get an idea of scale. But I was trying to get this Slimer out. Man, they actually have 2 pieces of plastic over the Slimer. This is actually a pretty cool little Slimer. I mean, I really like that translucent look. You know, it's harder plastic on top. It feels kind of loose. Maybe a little bit softer at the bottom. I don't know, maybe not. But that's a pretty cool little Slimer. So I mean, you can do what you want with that. So first, let's just get a better look at this. So I mean, like I said, to me this looks pretty much spot on. I mean, I'm not an expert when it comes to exactly things, so you know, if there's differences, then they are, but it really just, it looks sweet. And I remember I didn't see the original in the movie theater, but I just remember when I first saw it, I just thought the car was so cool. And I remember they had I think it was Hot Wheels or something like that. They had a version of that came out not too long ago either. And especially on all the stuff on top. Like that's why I really like Back to the Future. Like having the flux capacitor and all the stuff on the vehicle. I think that was one of the main differences between this and kit car, is that with that they had to add that battery function so you could get the sounds and lights, because otherwise it kind of just looks like a Trans Am. So you can see underneath, it's like you basically can already see like almost the whole robot from there. And I noticed that's a pattern with these, but again, I don't care about that. I care about how it looks in the car mode, because I'm probably going to keep it like that. But I just like everything. I mean, look at even how the light reflects through here to give you that blue and stuff like that. Like, that's just sweet. And like inside is not so bad. Like with the kit car, it looked a lot more packed inside here. But here, there's actually a little bit of room where you can see inside. I mean, obviously there's stuff in there. It's not going to be like seats or anything, but I still think it looks really sweet. And just as a display piece, like if you just have that, you know, sitting there, I think that looks good in itself. And then, you know, if you're having like Slimer on the hood or something like that, like that's cool. Like for me, that's about it. There's nothing else crazy. So as far as scale, like I said, this one is one of the larger ones, at least as far as I guess length. It's pretty long, man. There's just so many of these. I gotta make sure. But so here is it next to the kit. So you can see that one is pretty much about the same size, and you see that's what I'm talking about. I still don't have the batteries for this yet, but at least with this one, they really had to add that function where when you press here, this lights up and it makes a woo woo sound, because otherwise it looks pretty basic. But you can see size-wise right there. So like for those of you that are collecting all or most of the line, you can get an idea of scale right there for that one. And then the other one that's close to it in size would be the Party Wallop Wagon, whatever that they call it from TMNT. Again, I really like this one because, again, robot mode, but as the car mode, like I just thought it was sweet. So obviously, height-wise, it's taller, but this one's a little bit longer on it. But you can see as far as scale how that works. Then we get into kind of the smaller ones. So from Stranger Things, you have that comparison there. So I don't really mind that. Again, another one more vehicle than car. And then one of my personal favorites, of course, is Gigawatt. So this one I kind of wish maybe was a little bit bigger. If this was maybe the size of this, but I don't know if maybe they were worried about the detail, if it's that big. I don't know, maybe. But I felt this was a little bit too small, even though it is nice. I just wish that a little bit bigger than this, but you know, it's okay. You know, it's no big deal. But you can see definitely compared to the Ecto 1, like real big difference. This thing always does not like to stay in, but I'll deal with that. And then the last one that I have that I want to compare is a little Jurassic Park one, and that's tiny, but I don't know. I really like the way this looks. Again, especially in vehicle mode, I think it looks sweet. So I don't mind it being small, especially since it came with the robot dinosaur as well. So there you have it. And you know what? I just realized I was double checking because I was like, wait a minute, did I miss the weapons pack? But because it shows him with a gun. Did I miss? Oh, it's mounted on here. That's what it is. Oh, okay, so the gun's actually mounted on the side here, which is cool. So I was looking at it, I was like, where's the gun at? And that's cool how it looks like the proton gun. I mean, that's basically what this is supposed to look like. So that's what you're seeing here in the front. So you see that. So at first I was like, man, where's the thing at? But I know you can also take off the pack and it goes on the back of the robot, but we're going to transform it first and then show you that. Of course, we're going to use movie magic to get that done. Right, and here it is in the robot mode, and thanks to EMGO 316 for that transformation, because it wasn't hard at all, but I'm terrible, so I'm not good enough to do it live. Like, y'all don't want to see me struggle with that. But really, it really wasn't difficult. You saw that when you turned it upside down, you basically had most of the robot form here, and it's basically like just turning a few pieces around. You pull the chest down to take the head out, and then, you know, the back, the top of it, basically it's kind of like a fold over, and then it becomes the proton pack, which I just think is sweet. I do notice that when I tried to put the plastic in the back of the gun, like I really had to push to get that to connect, and it still isn't perfect. But maybe that's a thing where you warm it up and it ends up working out better. But I really gotta say that I like the design is not that bad. Obviously, I still love the vehicle mode much more, but the main mode is not bad. I kind of like the fact that you do have the front facing, like the huge shoulder pads like that. I really have to say the biggest thing for me was using the proton pack and the gun. And then you can see the strap here just goes into the side. So it's kind of, you know, people talk about kibble and stuff. This is kind of interesting because it's like, yeah, you have the major back piece of the vehicle, but having the proton pack there really helps with that. And funny, like even here, having that kind of like almost back shield is kind of cool, even just from a, you know, like a lore type of thing where it's like, oh, you have a little protection from the back. As far as movement, I mean, you can bend the knees, you can kick forward, back, you can rotate out, you can turn these. So you have a really pretty good range of motion. Arms, you know, even with those huge shoulder pads, really not bad. You can, you know, do decent movement. So you can move this around, it can turn, rotate all the way here. Can't really go back, but then the arms itself you can turn. Hands are locked in, but you can turn basically what would be kind of like the elbow as well. So I just think that's sweet. And then the head, got good motion. You can look down, you can look up, you can look side to side. So overall, I do notice that mine, the back is kind of loose too. So let's see, as far as waist, you don't have a waist turn though, so you don't have that. So here's the only thing. Back here, this is where that's supposed to go in, but then you also have this up here that kind of blocks the way. So the best way is to lock it here. And I think I was going a little bit too low at first or something. I was doing something wrong where it wasn't fitting in right. So I think that's more me than this. I don't think that it's this fault. So yeah, I think now I put it in right. I think before maybe I had this a little bit too low, so it wasn't in correctly. But yeah, I have to say, even though I like the vehicle mode more than anything else, it's not like some where the robot mode is like horrendous and it looks terrible. But overall, I'm really happy with this. I really forgot how much I paid for it. I know it was like at least 20% off. But I know that, you know, with these, they're not like out of stock or anything. So on Amazon and stuff, I see them rotate around and have a sale at least every 3-4 months or something. So if you're patient, you definitely can get a good deal on this. Just keep an eye out. But overall, if you like this video, hey, please consider giving a like and sub and all the stuff that they ask you to do, because it really does help, especially a small channel like me, because we're trying to spread the word of the phrase that pays, which is no discount, no deal. All right, y'all. Catch you next time.